Every time I look at Ryan Day with his dark beard, he looks like a guy who should be in witness protection. And if he keeps losing like this at Ohio State, he will be in witness protection soon, as he should be. So Ohio State, they just lost against the Oregon Ducks. I don't like this whole thing now where we have all these West Coast teams and they're not the Big Ten anymore. They're big whatever. Because I think it's not fair to the players because they always talk about student athletes. Well, that's changed with NIL deals. But these players that are flying from Ohio to Oregon, they're flying from California to Pennsylvania. Like when these kids got time to study, they're flying cross country half the time. Like I hate the NCAA because they're all about greed and they really don't care about the students' well being. Like you know how much jet lag these kids get from flying back and forth. Oh, it's ridiculous. All these West Coast teams that's in the Big Ten or whatever it's called now should still be on the West Coast, and the Big Ten should just be, or whatever it is, should just be in the middle of the country. That's where it should be. But I digress. So we're looking at Ryan Day's record, right? He's 2-4 in bowl games, 1-3 versus Michigan, 1-7 versus CFP top five, and 0-3 versus the SEC. Now, Ryan Day, when he took over, he started off really good. But why did he start off good? Because he had Urban Meyer's players. Urban Meyer, quote, retired, and he was forced out of Ohio State for being Urban Meyer, as always, because Urban just can't get out of the way. He always got to mess something up. So Urban retires. Ryan Day takes over, and it keeps winning, right? But it's Urban's system, Urban's recruits. It reminds me years ago when Tony Dungy was coach of Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they were always close to getting to the Super Bowl, and they never quite got there. They fired Tony Dungy. He would later win the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning and with the Colts. But John Gruden comes in, and he wins the Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's players and probably mostly Tony Dungy's system. But as the years went along, John Gruden had more of his players and more of his system, and he got fired because he didn't win. Same thing's going on with Ryan Day. Ryan Day initially won with Urban's recruits, and he had Urban's players that was already there, and he probably still had most of Urban's recruiting class coming in. So that was back in 2018 when Ryan Day took over. Now it's in 2024 is firmly Ryan Day's recruits and firmly Ryan Day's system and firmly Ryan Day's coaches. And this is what we're getting, this record. So what happens? Well, I started to say, well, how much money is he making? Right? Because I didn't know what his contract was. So in 2022, Ryan Day signed a 7-year, $65 or $66 million, I think it's $66.5 million contract. Ryan Day is not Nick Saban. Ryan Day is not Urban Meyer. Ryan Day is not Jim Harbaugh. Ryan Day did not deserve that type of deal. I don't know why colleges do this all the time. They sign these guys to like 7, 8, 9-year deals and fire like 2, 3 years later. And then the university's on a hook for multiple millions of dollars. So last year they thought about firing Ryan Day. They didn't pull the trigger. And the buyout last year in 2023 was $46 million. Hey kids, if you want job security, learn to be a coach and get into a D1 program, and you'll be taken care of for the rest of your life. Because most college coaches flame out and they get a nice package. $46 million in 2023 to buy out Ryan Day. So the numbers people probably said, bruh, we cannot pay this dark beard dude $46 million to go away. Let him coach another year. Then we'll take him out next year. So they didn't fire him last year. Now it's 2024. So I don't know. It's October. So things could change for Ryan Day. And it's not like they got blowed out by Oregon. They weren't. They were on their way of winning. It's just that Oregon, I think they took the lead, and Ohio State had 6 seconds left. And the quarterback, instead of just chunking the ball with 6 seconds left, he didn't see anybody open. He started running. Well, unless he was the second coming of Lamar Jackson, he wasn't going to outrun those dudes in Oregon, and he got tackled. And then it's almost like he lost track of time. And to me, this is where guys like Nick Saban and even Urban are better coaches because they practice those things in practice. I'm sure Nick Saban's players got tired of him because they practice things over and over and over again. So for a Nick Saban coach team with 6 seconds left, you know what to do. You chuck the ball. Don't run. Doesn't matter if the guys are open or not. You just throw the ball and pray that something good happens. You don't run. That's bad coaching. That's just bad coaching. Now, yeah, that could be on the player's fault for not knowing the time, but shouldn't the coaches told him, hey, kid, you got 6 seconds left. Just chunk the ball. We don't have no time to do anything else. But if it is on the QB, that's the QB that Ryan Day found. You know, it's interesting because right now Michigan, I think, is 4-1, and their coach is kind of going through the same thing that Ryan Day went through when Urban Meyer left. So Jim Harbaugh is now he left. He's with San Diego Chargers. They're in San Diego, right? Oh, Los Angeles Chargers. I'm old. So what happened was when Ryan Day took over back in 2018, Jim Harbaugh was still scuffling with Michigan. And there was talk as the years gone along that maybe Nick Saban, I can't say Nick Saban, that Jim Harbaugh might be fired or go to the NFL for years because Michigan just couldn't get it going. But eventually he got his recruits in. Harbaugh got his recruits in. He got the coaches that he wanted. And then Michigan wins the national championship in 2023. And Harbaugh said, this is too hard. I'm cashing in my chips. I'm out. I'm going to Los Angeles, right? And good for him. So Michigan's 4-1, but they're doing it with Harbaugh's recruits and Harbaugh's system. So we have to watch Michigan as the years go along, because as they were inching up with Harbaugh, Ohio State was slowly regressing. It was like Urban Meyer left and Ohio State crashed. No, like Ryan Day is a decent coach. He's just not a great coach. So Michigan slowly rose up, and Ohio State has been slowly regressing. And this is where we get this record here. So what happens? Well, I do think Ohio State is thinking about firing Ryan Day. The only way Ryan Day saves his job is if he beats Michigan. He can beat Michigan and lose the bowl game, and I think Ryan Day can still keep his job. But if Ryan Day loses to Michigan, I don't think Ryan Day even makes it to a bowl game. Or if Ohio State just keeps losing close games, I don't think they're going to get blowed out. But if Ohio State let's say Ohio State just keeps losing close games, but they beat Michigan, I still think Ryan Day will lose his job. Because it seems like he's regressing as a coach, and his players, whatever they're doing in practice just isn't translating on both sides of the ball. So what do you think? If you're an Ohio State fan, let me know. I'm a casual fan. I'm not one of those people that wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. I'm not that guy. But I do watch them from afar. So what do you think if you're an Ohio State fan? Should they keep Ryan Day? Or is it time for him to go? And what do you think about the buyout? How much money these coaches get? Do you think it's crazy that these universities, these public universities, are giving these guys 7-8 year contracts and then firing them or letting them go after 2 or 3 years, and then the university's on the hook for like $40 and $50 million? What do you think about that? I should have became a coach. I need to stop making these videos and become a coach. Oh my God, it makes so much money for losing.